Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining the presentation. Can we make this bigger, or is it? This is fine, huh? Okay. All right, let's get started. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Mohammed Saada. I'm Egyptian. We are an Odoo partner in Egypt currently, and we're launching in the UAE and Saudi Arabia very soon. I'm here today to discuss with you our main Odoo customization. It's a big project that we've worked on for a couple of years now. And we've used Odoo in a very special way to integrate with shopping malls, shops, the tenants or the POS systems. So I will get through all the details in the presentation. Feel free to ask me any question at the end. Here's my contact information if anyone is interested to have further discussions and ask questions about that. This is my email address. Please feel free to contact me. So the agenda for today, I'm going to start with introducing the company, who we are, what we do, and then I'll go into the challenge of the problem that we're trying to solve today, and the proposed solution for it, and the software that we've already developed on that for that application. A little bit details about how the system works, the features, and the upcoming features as well. And at the end, I'm going to show you some of the screenshots of what we can get with this. So we are Acme Group. Acme has 3 different divisions. I'm the general manager of business platforms, which is the software application and ERP system implementation part of the group. We have also 2 other divisions, one working in digital marketing, interactive solutions, and the other one is a distribution company for tech accessories and gadgets. So we have a quite diverse kind of service portfolio. So let's jump into the topic of today. So there's a new challenge now facing the shopping malls, which is a new business model in the rental programs with the shops. When I say shops, I mean the tenants. The tenants are people who are renting the place in the shopping mall. So the deal now with the tenants has become in many countries in the revenue sharing model, not as a fixed rent. So usually in the past it used to be like a fixed rent. You rent this shop for 10,000, 5,000, whatever per month. Now shopping malls are quite getting more into the direct business of the shops by taking a percentage of the revenue that they are making, and this is how the contracts are being done. This is happening in Egypt, this is happening in Dubai, and happening in many other places. I'm not familiar with all different markets, but this is the challenge that we've faced ourselves. So basically there's a minimum rent. So if the shop doesn't make a certain amount of money per month, or the revenue sharing portion is less than this rent, so then the minimum rent will be applied, or it's just a percentage of the sale. Here's like a quick example. Let's say, for example, we have Zara. These are just fake numbers. Let's say these are the different periods, like different months, and the minimum rent is 10,000, whatever dollars, euros, whatever currency you, just for the concept. And the mall gets 10% of that. So basically, every month, the actual revenue of the mall would be recorded or reported to the shop would be recorded to the mall, and based on that percentage, let's say this month the sales were 50,000, then 10% of 50,000 is 5,000, then the minimum rent applies. So this would be the 10,000 in this case. If the revenue is exactly 100,000, then the 10% is matching with the minimum rent, and the third case would be that the revenue is bigger, so the mall would get more shares, more rent in that case. So the reason why they work with this model is, for example, especially for the starting malls, to make it easy on the tenants to come in and reduce the capex investment. Something else is also because the malls are real estate businesses, and they have interest to promote the whole shopping mall and to get the maximum out of it. So this is how things are happening now. So then comes the challenge that our customers are having, the shopping malls, is that they are not trusting the reporting of the shops, because it's up to the shop to report what kind of sales that they did, and these reports can be done either on Excel sheets or from extracts from their own point of sale system. So they wanted something more to make sure that the data that is being extracted or being reported by these tenants is the actually real data. So what we proposed is to have a sort of integration with these POS systems. So the problem in that is that lots of the stores don't have, lots of the shopping malls, they don't have a local network. There's no static IP in the shops. And also each shop works with its own different system and its own different POS application and a whole different database system. So our main system has to integrate with various different kinds of softwares in that case. And also there's lots of network and internet connectivity issues, system up and system down, internet not always as stable as it should be. So the system must be able to synchronize and get all the data through whenever there's a connection link. So we proposed the revenue sharing management system, which would collect the data from the tenants, the sales data, directly from their POS, calculate the revenue share, and ensure there's a transparency between both parties, which is the shopping mall and the tenant. Be able to do some data analytics, sales trends and forecasting, manage the property and the leasing, like add-ons or upselling to what we can do in that sense, and make sure that there's a return on investment from the rental revenues. So there's many ways we did this. Like there's 4 levels that I'm going to explain later. I don't want to go really into technicalities here, but the basic way to do it is to have the generate a CSV file report from each of the POS system, like a standard report, which we'll be able to retrieve through the FTP link and feed it into Odoo. So we used Odoo as the main database reporting tool and main management for this whole application. The components of the system, there's a mini, like a script that would be installed on the POS in case the POS doesn't have a direct link to the database. The FTP server that would connect the POS to our server, and the back-end portal that would do all the work after that, including analytics, reports, different types of visualization. There are 4 levels of integration. Like the most basic thing is that the client himself would be manually going onto a portal and uploading this CSV file as part of reporting the sales. So this is like the first level of connection. The second level would be to have an auto-generated CSV report from the POS itself that would be sent somewhere on the PC, and then the FTP server would be able to retrieve that. And then more than that is to have the installed script that would extract from the POS database whatever tables that we need and whatever information that we would need to integrate with, and to send it the same way, or to have a direct database integration between the PostGRESQL in case of on Odoo side and whatever database system we have on the other side. So we've already managed successfully to integrate with at least 10 different types of databases, including MySQL, MSSQL, Oracle, Sybase, PostgRE for sure, and different database types. So it really depends on the system on the other side. It could be Micros, it could be restaurant manager, a retail pro, whatever names you would name in that case. So to run quickly on the system features, we have a real-time monitoring of the outlet transactions, so you can get exactly what are the line-by-line transactions that happened at each shop. You have system alerts and notifications in case there's any problem with connectivity. It's quick setup, easy connection with multiple POS databases. This is Odoo at the end of the day, so we have the web-based system, the cross-platform working, you have the mobile interface, and you can it can be hosted on the cloud or on a local server, in that, whatever, depending on the situation, depending on the project. User-friendly, it's again Odoo, so I don't need to talk about that. User-friendly, dynamic reporting. Secure, we have a ways to handle errors and to do data validation before it feeds into the database. It would ensure the transparency of the sales transactions so that there won't be this problem of mistrust or problem of deal between the tenant and the shopping mall. The data is encrypted and there's access rights for different data access. I'm going to run quickly through the kind of reports that we can get. We have connectivity status reports, which can show which store is online and which one is not, and when was the last time there was a synchronization that happened between our back-end system and the POS. The status of the upload of the files and everything that's happening on the FTP link. Tenant sales reports, this is for the mall management to be able to see and to be able to group by and get good information about the business that's actually happening in the store. So the mall is not only concerned to bring in people to the mall and do the marketing and all that stuff, they can also understand which areas of the mall have the highest traffic, have the highest number of transactions, the value of the transaction. Which category, like for example, you can compare the food and beverage to the retail, to the clothes shops. Which customers compare like the seasonality and which parts of the year, or compare the weekend versus the weekdays, compare like the ferry whenever there's like big vacations and big. So basically you have all sorts of reports to play around with Odoo, so I don't need to talk about that again. And the tenant sales report to see exactly how much they sold by the hour, by the day, by the week, by the quarter, by the year, to make all sorts of comparison and reporting in that sense. So the report formats is the basic Odoo reports. We have the graph, pie chart, bar charts, dynamic tables, Excel sheets. These are some examples, like you can get the sales value per day or on a weekly. This is like, on a monthly basis. Another one is by shop. You have like Carrefour, Mother Care, like different. This is just dummy data. It's not real actual figures from what's happening. Some line charts to see the trends, the sales trends. Normal pivot type of reports. This is a customer report that we've got. For example, it would show you on each day here from the whole period. This is percentage of revenue sharing, and it would show the total sales of the store, the revenue share that they should be getting, and the basic rent, which is the minimum rent. And then the final rent would be the highest value of these two, and then the difference calculated. So in this sense, the mall is actually making money, and the ROI, they can see it because they can see that what they're actually making is higher than the basic rent. So they see that they can actually make more, like this project has an instant ROI to it. Another report is, this is a revenue share report as well. It's the same thing, total sales. Revenue share percentage is 10% of that value, the basic rent, and then the final value that they will be actually billing to their client. This is a report that shows the different areas of the mall with the different categories of the shops. So you have the computer shops, electronics, food and beverage, apparel, sunglasses shops, and you can compare each area by the different comparisons here. Same here, you have another report which shows the difference between the sales in each and the number of transactions. So you can also make all sorts of analysis to understand, for the mall management to understand more how the business is happening at the retail level, not at just the leasing level in the usual case. This is a standard report. It's a bit an old one. We've done the development on Odoo 8, but now we are pushing all to Odoo 10. So we are releasing the Odoo 10 version very, very soon. So this is a bit, this is from an old report. This basically shows the upload status of the files, if which one of these shops is online or not. Upcoming features is mainly to integrate that with the Odoo ERP, because we can make use of all the different other modules that come with that, like the billing, and to manage the billing from the system itself. To have a mobile app for that, for the management to be able to see real-time reports and real-time trends, and to also help in forecasting what's for the mall itself, to be able to make marketing and business decisions. Beyond that, like I said, you can integrate it with any of the standard Odoo modules. And we've already, one of our customers right now, we are already moving into the to a full implementation of Odoo ERP for their business. So we started off with just selling the revenue sharing application, and now we're rolling out to the rest of the modules. Let me show you some of the, you cannot see that? Okay, so this is the form of contract that you would see on the system, where you enter at each. So basically there's the unit, which is the shop itself. There's the tenant, which is the brand or the company that's going to occupy this unit for a certain period of time. And there's the contract that manages the link between both. So you have the tenant, the unit, and then the tenant would be renting this unit for a certain amount of time, the time for the shop that opens, the contract details, the start and end date, revenue sharing, and we also have details related to the renewal and the increases in the rent. So this can also act as a property management or leasing management application. So you have here which unit is this contract related to. Then you have the FTP information, the contract renewal, the total area, the rate, the annual increase, annual increase after in different years. And here it would show you the Forex rates, if it's rented in a different currency, and then the Egyptian pounds, for example. This is like the rates are in US dollars, but they are being paid in Egyptian pound. Thank you. These are the fields that we are interested to fetch from the POS data, like the invoice ID, the date, time, the invoice tax, the service lines, the subtotal, invoice total, and the terminal. So this is these are basically the fields in the database table that we're trying to get from the POS. Some details regarding the database type, the queries, and the more technical stuff. This is the tenant view, just a customer view from Odoo perspective, but with more details regarding the which floor, the branch, the phase, which phase in the mall, the location, the area, and some other fields here. Some categories here, like categories like food and beverage, blah, 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 all that stuff. Subcategories, location view, branches, phases. Yeah, these are the order lines that would get, so these are the tenant sales. So these are the order lines that would be grabbing from the POS application, and that would be thrown into the PostGRESQL, so we can manage that and be able to get reports from that. These are the logs, cron job, error logs. So yeah, basically this is it. So if you have any, I think I'm done here. Yeah. Yeah, so again, this is my contact information if you need anything, or right now if you want to ask me any question, I'll be happy to answer you. Please.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
My first question will be about the model you're talking about. Are you responsible for selling this idea or concept to the client, or is it someone else and you are only the provider of the solution?
No, we are actually we already have 5 clients working with that model, and we do sell the whole full solution and do the implementation, the development, and everything. So you mean like the concept of the revenue sharing itself?
Is it your concept or you find
No. This is a market concept, and the market moved in that direction, and everybody followed. And
there is no problem with the stores getting involved with this concept, sharing their data. I think that this can be an issue.
Yeah, this is a good question.
Are they forced when they sign?
They are forced. They are signing that into their contract. So their leasing contract includes a clause that mentions that they are forced, they are obliged to open themselves to, not totally, but just like the data that we need to get, like the invoice details and the amounts, yeah, the revenue. So mostly very open.
And it works.
Yeah, with some resistances. I'm not saying it's very straightforward, but yeah, it has to, like the mall management has to enforce it to make it happen. Because
and do you also get customer information back from the store? So if they have like a loyalty card or something that comes back?
Yeah. So you can even use it to make big data analytics regarding to the customer behaviors, the times, this has a potential of so much more than just grabbing the data. We are just now at the reporting stage, but later on I'm sure we're going to get into some more interesting stuff.
I was Egypt regarding the legal rights of the customers. Like in the Netherlands, you are not allowed to store any details about customers unless there is an obligation to do it.
You mean the final end user going into the shop, or you mean the customer as the shop itself, the tenant?
About the customer, what he buys, what time. This is private details. You are logging or storing.
But it's anonymous. Does it make a difference?
Okay, it's anonymous.
Yeah, it's anonymous. We don't get details about the client himself or the name of the client. We just know that there was one burger that was sold at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
So
You're logging each line or just the end total?
we can do anything, but right now we do the total of the bill.
Okay.
Like each invoice with the total of it. Not the invoice lines, but it can be done. It depends on what kind of information the stores are willing to share with you. So usually the stores are okay to share the final numbers, but not line by line details of it. Yeah. So this is.
And are you sharing the information with the tax department as well? Or
No.
they might be interested?
Yeah, they might be interested, but I'm not interested to do that. No, actually, we have a confidentiality agreement with our customers. We're not allowed to use this data for anything at all. Like,
are those companies audited every year just to make sure that they're passing on the right information? Because it's easy for them just to
play around with the numbers.
One of the costs.
Yeah, there's a possibility, yes, to fraud even to that level of engagement or that level of integration. But this can be controlled with some mystery shopping and other kind of activities that the malls would do to make sure that there's an exact match.
And one final question: are you using
Yeah, sure.
the enterprise version or the community?
We are currently, like I said, we have made the main developments on Odoo 8 version, but now we are moving it into enterprise to make use of the mobile and the nice UI and what you can get out of that. Instead of building a mobile app, it's just happening that it's much easier now to do things, especially with the new iOS app. I think the enterprise is the best run. And for this kind of projects, it's easy to sell enterprise because the license, like these kind of malls, they're not really, they don't really have a problem paying the license cost. So.
I'm interested in the technical implementation. So what about these units and finding the unit?
I'm not sure really. I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not really into the technicalities of how it was done, but I guess so. Yeah.
Do you plan to further develop a geospatial module to have a reporting on the map of all the floors and the map of the mall? Do you think?
Actually, this is a nice idea. We didn't think about that, but yeah, it's nice. Yeah, we can do that.
And do you have interest in developing this solution in other countries?
Oh yes, sure. Yeah.
You did it already, or is it?
We are now, we have many leads in different countries, so we are now promoting it into like the international market, because we can even handle, with the new version, we can handle the whole implementation from anywhere. We don't have to be there on the spot. If we have the right links and the right data, it can be done from anywhere to anywhere on the cloud. So.
Do you think of sharing the revenue also? You two can share the revenue with
Yeah, sure. If you want to partner, let's do that. Yeah, I'm ready. Any questions? All good? Okay, thank you for coming. Thank you again. Thanks.